Welcome to MLM Nation, a podcast of leaders, by leaders, for leaders, hosted by Simon Chan. He's built a team of over 200,000 and is now a full-time MLM coach and trainer. So if you're ready to level up your business, join us now. Let's do this.
Hey MLM Nation, it's Simon Chan here. Today we're going to do a special episode. It is the first week of June, and I figured this is always one of my favorite times of the year, and I'll tell you why. And we are going to talk about how to network and build your business using local events. And I'll talk about why I'm talking about this, and also some tips on networking mistakes that I've made in the past. And so you can apply these when you go to like a meetup, BNI, any local business event, or even if you're just attending church, or you're at a gym and you bump into a couple of people, or you're a reunion. These are all the helpful tips I've learned over the years I want to share with you. But first of all, this is first week of June. That's actually after this recording. It is June 10th. We're 1 week into June already, so fast. But it's always my favorite time of the year for a couple of reasons. It brings back memories of when I was a kid. June is almost the end of the school year. That's always a happy time. In college, it was like, this kind of before you start working, you had 2 or 3 weeks off in the summer breaks. It's just an awesome time. Brings back a lot of memories. Also, it is my oldest son. His birthday is on June 6th. A lot of you wished him happy birthday on social media. I appreciate that. And also, during the first week of June, my kids, they always have end of season, kind of like Donuts with Daddy Day, right? And they do stuff for Mother's Day, but Donuts with Daddy Day, they made all these gifts. And this year, they're just really touching. It's always really special. My youngest son made this for me, which is really, really touching for me. Let me adjust the lights here a little bit. I love this. And then my second son made this. If you're watching this on YouTube, hey, if you're watching on YouTube, we have subscribe to the channel. You actually will see this. He made 10 things I love about you. And it was pretty cool. One of them was number 5, you used to sleep with me sometimes. Number 7 was you take me to baseball practices. You practice baseball with me. You told me, number 10, which was a surprise, you told me how to ride my bike without training wheels. I remember that. That was, anyway, really, really cool. If you have kids, you know how special that moment is. And early June is always that day. And another thing is, I can't believe it, it's been 1 year anniversary on June 6th. Was the launch of my book, The Consistency Pill. And thanks to all for getting a copy of it. Thanks for the leaders who have made this book into the Book of the Month Club. I've recently did a lot of speaking for that. And thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for the feedback. And by the way, if you leave an Amazon review for me on this book, I would do something special for you. If you left the Amazon review, message me. You know where to find me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, the easiest way. So email me and I'll do something special. All right. But appreciate you all. And I can't believe this year went by fast. It took about like a year and a half to put together in terms of planning everything. And now it's been a year since the launch of the book. It feels like yesterday. I still remember I had a baseball tournament with my second son. And then I did all this speaking to launch that book. But that's been a year. So anyway, today I'm going to talk about meetings because I am preparing to go to a meeting. On Tuesday in 72 hours, 96 hours from now, I'll be hopping on a plane to Monte Carlo. I've never been there before. I've heard of the Monte Carlo Grand Prix, the Monaco Grand Prix, but going there for Rob Sperry's Leaders of Leaders Mastermind. And I'm sorry if I butchered the name, Rob, but I'm just excited. These are like the top leaders in the profession, all going there, hanging out. And it's going to be an awesome time for connection. I'll be speaking there, just meeting people. All right, so I'm excited. I'm preparing for that trip. We got my son actually has a baseball tournament later today. I want to record this, and then afterwards I have to prepare for this. I'm just going for 4 days, coming back, and then we have another baseball. I just kind of crazy. Leaving on Tuesday night, red eye, hang out there for 3-4 days, and then come back on Saturday, and then we'll have a baseball tournament on Sunday. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So I want to share some tips that I've learned over the last 20 years about networking and how to do well at these events. The first thing is, actually, one other thing I can't believe I forgot. Another thing, I'll talk about June, the theme of June, the reason I love June. I like to launch things during June, right? I guess it makes me feel good. It brings back the memories. But the newsletter, how can I forget? The newsletter, it's been over 2 weeks of MLM Nation newsletter. A lot of you have been reading it. I appreciate you all. If you don't have a copy of it, go to MLMNation.com. You can subscribe. Okay, this is the biggest project I have done in since the book. It's in the last year. Since the biggest project, it took me 4 months to thinking, planning, put it together. You may think, well, it's such a simple newsletter, easy to read, 2-3 minutes. Why did it take 4 months? But there's a lot of the planning, right? And so go check it out. Let me know how you like it, because it is something I'm putting a lot of daily time into it. And yeah, it's been fun. I'm beginning to get good feedback. But let me know, and please share this with others. It's free. And the goal is to find the best trainings and promote them. Okay, let people know in a fun way, in a funny way. So, all right, let's talk about preparing for events. I think the first thing is the mistake that people make is they think short term, right? You got to think the long term game. So short term game is I'm going to go there and I'm going to go get contacts and get prospects and get someone to buy my product or join my business. The chances are that happening is very slim, generally. You're not going to go to the event, and this could be a local event, a meetup, business group, alumni get together to get customers. You're thinking short-term game, and that's never happens. It never happens that way. And even if you get one, generally, you basically act like a jerk. You act selfish and self-centered. You're never going to invite it back to that. And you don't, even if it's something that can show up over and over again, you're not going to have any good long-term results with that, right? You got to think long-term in terms of this is a place where I can add value to others. I keep sharing that in my consistency pep talks. Some of you join in every day. Some of you watch it live, watch it recorded, but adding value. Right? You have to be a person of adding value. It could be like simple as this. I'm adding value teaching you, right? Every one of you, you know enough. You can just know 5% more than most people there. And I believe you do. Just add value to people. So if you're going there thinking long-term, I'm going to get a customer. How do I get a customer? How do I sell my products? It's not going to work. Instead, think long-term. So what do you mean by long-term? Don't pitch. Get to know others well and find ways to create value. So stop thinking about what do you have to say. Instead, be a listener and just say, learn about people, right? Recently I got the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, from my oldest son. I'm making him read it. And it's like, go learn about others and how you can add value to them. That is the key to success there. Not about how you can pitch your product, how you sell your product. So don't pitch. So you say, well, Simon, if I don't pitch, then what's the point? The point is, it comes in the long term. And that's why so few people are successful, but no one has the patience to do that. So over time, if you add value and find ways, people will give you referrals, or they may try the product or join the business. Now, over time, and time could be 6 months, could be 5 years. It's not 5 minutes. It takes time. And if you're not willing to put in the time, then this is definitely not for you. Now, if you are willing to put in the time, this is one of the most rewarding things you can do, right? Because you get add value, especially if it's something like a business network, BNI, a meetup, you show up all the time. You add value. This becomes like its own group of close friends. It's like kind of like a fellowship, right? Or kind of like a fraternity, sorority, right? Kind of like a little clique, right? You become that part of that clique. You accept it in there because you add value. Then these people will go do anything to help you, right? You need it for a rank advancement. They will join you, even though they don't plan to do the business. They'll spend $1,000 or $500 to join you just to help you out. But that stuff takes time. Couple other tips is don't go after the big dog, right? The big dog is normally in any conference, anywhere, like even the mastermind that I am going to, is a big dog. The big dog is probably the most successful person, or often the one who's made the most money, or it could be the person who's hosting the event, right? The boss, the big boss there, the boss lady, the boss, whatever. Don't go after the big dog, because these people are normally hit up by so many people. Everyone wants to get in with them, right? So I'll give you an example. It could be at a mastermind meeting where everyone's earning $100,000 a month. And this one guy has earned $50 million over his career and does $200,000. And everyone wants to get to pick their brain, right? Don't go after the big dog, okay? Because he's hit by everyone else. It could be at this, business meetup, and everyone has these small businesses, but this guy's founded and sold his company for $100 million, and is one of the wealthiest people in your town. right? Everyone wants to kind of know him. So why you don't go after the big dog is the next tip is don't dismiss people. Don't dismiss people. I mean, like, oh, this person just got started. He's no good. Or this person's not interested. He's not a good prospect, right? Because you never know who they know. There's a saying, every prospect is not the destination. They're the doorway to the destination. Inexperienced people say, well, that person's never going to join. You're right. They may never join, but they may know 20 people that could join. Or they have so much influence just by telling people, they can convince 10 people to be customers for you within a 5-minute phone call. I can help you out like that. Or send a mass text to their best friends and they can all hop in to help you out. You never know. Some of the people over the years I thought would help me hasn't really, not done that much. But the people who are the least, they're the ones that have helped me the most, right? So don't dismiss. If you look at them all, they're not that good. They're the ones who are the big ones. So again, don't judge people by the amount of social media followers too. Just because this person has 15,000 people doesn't mean they're going to help you. Doesn't mean they'll be great. It could be one person that has 500 followers. Could be the one that's going to really take your business. Okay. Don't be a jerk. I think I don't have to say that, but being a jerk, being self-centered, again, being pitchy. Don't rush. Right? I mentioned that again, don't play the long-term game. And here's the key. Just like you don't go after the big shot. Instead, treat everyone like the big shot. Treat everyone special. The person that no one's talking to, make that person feel special. Make that person feel like they're the big shot and I mean, they're the boss, right? Everyone likes to feel special. Treat everyone like a big shot. And have a deep connection. Now, when you talk about deep connection, you know what's important? It's never... I think back to the relationships I've had. It's never the ones that talk about business and we click and then we became close friends and we help each other. It's always because of the small talk. It's the small talk that leads to the big talk. I want you to find somewhere to write that down. The small talk leads to the big talk. Normally, when you're at the business networking meeting, so this again, I'm going to a Mastermind. Rob Sperry's, by the way, that's an awesome event. I'll put the link in the show notes page. He's doing another one in October in the Pirates Cove. It's an amazing place, okay? I'll be there. I'll put the link there. You can learn more. But when I'm going there, I'm not focusing on how big is your team business. I'm focusing on the small talk. The small talk is how many kids you have. What do your kids like to do? What do you like to do with your hobbies, right? Talking about my baseball, my kids. Because at the end of the day, when they leave, they're not going to remember about your business. You're going to remember about who you are, what you like to do, right? I remember when this guy, Nigel, I met. I don't remember all about his business stuff. I remember because he was the father to 2 daughters and he had a house that right by the ocean in Australia and would go surf every morning. That's just what I remember about, right? It's a small talk that leads to the big talk. So sometimes it's not meaningless. The small talk is important because ultimately, and again, being interested, letting it go is letting them talk more than you should talk, right? The 80-20 rule. If you're talking a lot, you're doing the wrong thing. Let them talk. Be the listener. Going back to the fundamentals of how to win friends and influence people. Small talk, get them to talk. Everyone loves to talk about their kids. Everyone loves to talk about their pets and what they like to do. And for example, if they like to play golf, just ask them, how long have you been playing? How did you get into it? Right? What makes you excited about it? What makes you excited every weekend? These things will come up, right? And then they can start talking. They'll be sharing. Trust me, if you ask me what I'm doing this weekend, I'll tell you these baseball tournaments, I probably wouldn't shut up until I realized, wait, Simon, shut up, right? It's because we all like to talk about each other. So this small talk is where we have the deep connection, finding things in common too. So if they bring the small talk, find something in common that you can talk about. Or maybe you both like baseball, or maybe both of you like following technology news. Whatever it is, it's a small talk. Here's another tip is don't try to impress people, right? I think when I first started, I remember one of my early mentors. I was in the elevator and I tried to impress him by saying, this is way back when I used to work in sports. And I said, well, I think, this player is going to be great, better than this player. And he basically said, this guy was the big boss, basically called me out and said I was like an idiot. He said, no, well, 99% of the experts don't think that. In a very nice way, said I was like an idiot, right? So, and because I was trying to impress people in the elevator. No, I know this person. Don't impress people, right? Instead, be the idiot, right? Go out there And when I say be the idiot, be the one that wants to learn more. Ask, and when you're saying, when I say don't be the idiot and trying to like impress people, but be the idiot in terms of like wanting to learn more, ask questions. And then this will get people, because people love to show off their expertise, they will start talking, right? So where do you see, for example, someone's into doing some for investing, where do you see the market going right now, right? If someone's into I can't think of anything right. Give an example. Sports. Oh, who do you think is going to be the best team right now? Right? Get them to start talking. Be the idiot, want to learn. Right? Again, it's like talk less and listen more. Stop thinking about what you have to say. Right? And that's normally when we are trying to impress people. We try to think about what we have to say. You know, one of my mentors first, and my friends, Tim Sales, said, hey, be interested instead of interesting. Be interested in other people instead of trying to be the interesting person in the room. Be interested.
One sec.
Oh, that is my phone, Siri. Actually, sorry about that. You can keep that. You don't need to edit that out. Next is when you see other people in conversation, don't interrupt them, right? If you're in a big conference, just say you see 2 or 3 people, and you say, oh, I want to get in that conversation. You can just kindly say, hey, do you mind if I eavesdrop and just listen in? And most people will say yes. Okay, but don't go interrupting and just come in and start talking and be that quote unquote expert. So just ask them, hey, do you mind? Seems like you have a really interesting conversation. Can I just eavesdrop and listen in? And most people will say yes. And over time, you're going to find opportunities to ask them questions and get them to talk more. And you will have the opportunity to talk. And when you talk, again, it is be interested and not interesting. Okay, so a couple of action steps here as we wrap up. The thing you can do is once you have a good relationship with them, you can ask for introductions. When you get to know people better, you can ask for introductions. Finding, hey, you know, but my business is expanding. Do you know someone? And by the way, talking about the business is not at that event. I normally don't like to talk about the business at that event, meeting co-market. I like to talk about it afterwards. So at the event is the small talk that we exchange, whether on social media, exchange phone numbers, and afterwards I can reach out to them when I get back home. It's not at that event. And when you're reaching and talk about business event, you're kind of pitching again. Again, focus on the long term, and then how to add value and getting to know the person. It's the small talk is the key. And when you add value, find ways to add value. It could be right there. Like, for example, I just met someone for lunch. I found out we're talking about baseball stuff, right? And things to help my kids eat better. I immediately got back home, went to Amazon. There's a couple of things I have. Like I have a portable fridge in my car. That was really helpful in terms of keeping healthy food, fresh. I immediately sent it to him, right? Immediately said, find ways to add value within 30 days. The quicker you do it, the better. And then also put it in the calendar to follow up. You can follow up in 30 days. It depends on where it is, 3 months, 6 months, right? But do your best to add value within 48 hours. That is something really important. Adding value could be introducing someone, showing something. If you're talking about something, showing something fun. Just say if I met a sports fan, a Yankee fan, I saw something funny about sports, I'll send it to him. Be in that person's mind, right? And those things will eventually, if you play the long-term game, will develop trust and friendship. And that's after that trust and friendship, they feel they get to know you, like you, trust you, then all that business, the referrals will come later on. You can put in the calendar follow-up. And here's the last tip about these events. If you're going to an event and you know people in advance, do a get-together. That'd be helpful. Even if it's, it could be 20 people. I've done get-togethers with 50 people. I've done get-togethers with, I've done a get-together at one of Eric Worre's event where it was revolving, where I was there for 3 hours and people came and had a drink and then they leave and we hang out. It was like a party. It was like a never-ending party, which is a lot of fun. I've done get-togethers with just 3 people. And you know what? I could think, wow, I wish it was 20 people, 50 people. But it was, I think the Eric Worre one is probably more than that. It was like 100, 200 people throughout the night, just keep coming in and coming out. But I've done things with 3 people, but it doesn't matter, right? Those are quality relationships you work on, you can do. And you can apply this to company conventions of events as well. Crossline, team members that you've never seen. Bring in, especially Crossline, people that are under your level that you can be accountability partners with. You can get together and do, and find ways, again, the small talk leads to the big talk, right? Go find ways to provide value. So anyway, those are some tips I have. I'm excited for my event. Those are basically exact same things I'll be doing at Rob's Mastermind. if you want me to hang out with me, I'll be at his next mastermind in October as well in Pirates Cove. I should be there. 95% should be there unless there's some personal family conflict. But it'll be a lot of fun. But apply that. I think if you can get one takeaway from today's episode is that think long-term. Relationships, think long. Again, this is face-to-face, not on social media. Social media is a totally different game, right? And I can, social media, if you're reaching out to someone co-market, short and quick. But here, long-term game, especially with co-market, think of ways the small talk leads to the big talk and find ways to give value to that person as quickly as possible. Last thing I'll share with you, 3 questions I learned early on from one of my mentors that was really helpful. When you meet someone, right, find out what they do, right? That's a common question. What do you do? Oh, I'm a plumber. What do you do? I'm in banking. I'm in finance. I'm a lawyer. And ask them how long they've been doing it. And then here's a question. If someone was thinking about going into that field, what would you recommend for them to do? That will get them talking. So if I meet a plumber, if someone right now out of high school wanted to be a plumber, get into the plumbing business, what advice would you give them? Right? Or someone wants to go to law school. If someone was going to be a pre-law in college right now, what advice would you give that kid? Right? And that will get people talking. Just like if you ask me, if someone's going to get into network marketing, what advice would you give? I would talk on and on and on and on. And basically, when you get people talking, you accomplish the rule of being interested, getting people to talk. Again, the 80-20 rule, they should be talking 80%. You should be talking less, 20%. All right, everyone, that's all I have. Hey, you're watching this, you're listening to this. These episodes take a lot of my time to plan, to do, put out the content. And so they're not free. All I ask for you don't need to send me money, but all I ask you to do is subscribe on your podcast and go to YouTube, subscribe to our channel, and share this with your teams. And let's all go out, apply what you learn, and have a positive impact on someone's life. God bless you all.